picture of a tree trunk, which appears to have the words Kevin and Pam inside of a heart, and there's some other illegible writing on here. Most of us wouldn't think it absurd to believe that this is the product of some type of intelligent design. So why then is it so hard to believe that something as complex as the human body could also be the product of an intelligent designer? As a parent, I want my children to have the best education possible, and I'm sure as parents you guys would all agree. In public school, the teaching of only Darwinian theories is misleading. There is an alternative theory, and our children should know about it. Intelligent design is a valid scientific theory in opposition to Darwinian evolution. Our children would benefit greatly from exposure to this theory. Today I will briefly touch on the definition of intelligent design, an argument for design, and the importance of teaching this theory to our children, whether in public school or at home. Intelligent design is not creationism. It is a theory that states the universe is too complex to have occurred through the process of natural selection and random chance. Evolution is possible, but some designer must have at least assisted in the creation. Intelligent design is described by some as religion neutral. David DeWolf, a law professor at Gonzaga Law School, actually describes it as agnostic, and that's because science is simply not in the business of answering the question of whether or not there is a God. The complexity of life implies a designer. Dr. Stephen Meyer, who is a well-credentialed scientist and director of the Center for Science and Culture at the Discovery Institute, said that the probability of forming a single, rather short-functioning protein molecule is a chance of 1 in 100,000 trillion, 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 trillion. That's 10 trillions. For those of you who need a visual on that number, that's the number 10 with 125 zeros. Without even considering how we get life from non-life, how many times would this random process have to repeat itself to get where we are today? Is the belief in an intelligent designer really that absurd? So what's the big deal? The most common objection to intelligent design, and perhaps the most persuasive, is that teaching it in public schools is a backdoor method of indoctrinating our children or pushing the Christian agenda on them. But as I've previously stated, intelligent design is not Christian, and many of its proponents do not even identify themselves as Christian. Now, it's no secret that the intelligent design movement does have many Christian supporters, and I'm one of them, but that does not make it a Christian theory. And in fact, the validity of the argument is not affected by what one's personal faith may add to the designer. But finally, as David DeWolf points out, the number of cases in which individuals point to their encounter with Darwinian theories as a turning point for them in abandoning their traditional religious faith roughly matches the number of individuals who point to the argument from design as a turning point into their decision in becoming a theist. Which brings me to my next point. Teaching intelligent design to our children will promote critical thinking, and critical thinking is a necessary skill in science. And exposing to our children to all valid arguments will help them to make their own informed decisions, and as parents, isn't that what we all want? Opinion surveys actually show that only a third of the American population believes that life developed through an unguided random process of natural selection. That means that the other 2/3 of the American population are at minimum skeptical of Darwinian theories. So why is introducing a valid alternative so offensive? In the last few minutes, I've barely scratched the surface of the intelligent design debate, but I hope that it will encourage you to research it a little bit more. It is a valid scientific theory. It's not religious indoctrination. Not teaching it in schools is a disservice to our children, and teaching only Darwinian theories implies that it's the only good theory, or that or that it's fact, when in fact many knowledgeable scientists don't even consider it a good theory anymore. Studying opposing views would also promote critical thinking skills, like I have stated, which is a necessary life skill and also necessary in science. Intelligent design should be accepted as part of our science education program, and as parents we can do our part to promote this by supporting measures to integrate the study of intelligent design into public schools. We can also encourage our children's teachers to teach intelligent design as a part of their science curriculum. But finally, we shouldn't depend on the public school system. As parents, we should take initiative to introduce this theory to our children ourselves. Taking the time to learn this fascinating subject with your children would be a worthwhile learning experience for everyone. Thank you.